Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? I am trying something new here. We'll see how it goes. I've been doing Instagram live broadcasts for a long time, as many of you know, and today I'm trying out Restream to see if I can stream out to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and a bunch of places all at once. So, should be working, but we'll see how it goes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go live every morning about 9:30, and I want to share some thoughts and reflections and meditate together as we go through life in this COVID-19 context. So the first thing that I just kind of want to throw out there is we're in this for the long haul. Whether or not we are in quarantine or self-isolation for the long haul, hopefully it's no more than a few weeks or a month or so, who knows exactly. But this world is going to be different. It's going to be changed. It's already changing. Just consider for a moment, how many people have been told by their employers, no, you're not allowed to work from home. We don't trust you, or whatever the excuse is. Well, a lot of those people are working from home right now. And so when we go back to normal, whatever that looks like, all these people who've been told they couldn't work from home have now proven they can work from home. Similarly, people who have only been used to doing church in person, and church has been really connected to that building and physical space, have probably experienced some measure of community and church life from home. I know pastors who, in not being able to connect with people on a Sunday morning or whenever they meet, they've been getting on the phone and calling everybody and having really meaningful connection over the phone. I know some of those people are saying, hey, we recognize that we could have been doing this the whole time. So church is going to change. School is going to change. The teachers in my province here have been on strike recently because of the government moving to increased amount of e-learning and online classrooms, which I recognize is not ideal for education. And yet, in the current context, we're all learning online. So school's going to change. Everything's going to change. For some people, this has been an incredibly painful experience. And before this is done, the reality is it's been destabilizing for all of us to differing degrees. So there's going to be grief. There's going to be a measure of trauma that takes time to deal with. Some people, Andy Crouch and others, are talking about an 18-month shift. Now, that doesn't mean 18 months locked up at home necessarily, but an 18-month shift before we really know exactly what kind of world we're living in. And I think that's really true. So I don't say that to alarm you. I say that to say, okay, we've had a couple of weeks now, and if you need more time to get your feet under you, you take all the time you need. I know for me, this weekend I began to feel for the first time, okay, here we are. Whether I like it or not, here we are. How do I get to work in this context? How do I reach out to all of you and be a support and a source of love and hope and freedom? So I'll be doing these videos every morning at 9:30. I'll be posting more. The podcast will be back this week, and we'll be talking about life in COVID-19 context. How do we do life well? How do we embrace life and joy and be present to every moment? So with that being said, I want to just reflect over these last 2 weeks while we've all been figuring things out and getting our feet underneath us. I know for me that I have done and said some things I'm not proud of. I know on social media, in some cases, on my personal Facebook, I've lashed out at people. I've said things or made judgments about the things other people are saying or the things other people are not saying or not doing. And now, in the clear light of a few days, I don't feel proud of everything that I've said and done. Maybe some of you are sitting at home, maybe with your kids, and you've lost your cool, you've freaked out, you've yelled, you've done whatever. Maybe with your spouses, you've lost your patience. I want to remind you that none of us have been here before. None of us have been put in this kind of circumstance before. You are only doing the very best you can. Sometimes the best we can is not compatible with love and grace, the outputs of those things, but we're only doing the best we can. And we are allowed to have grace for ourselves. We are allowed to let ourselves off the hook for unkind, ungracious behavior. So I want to start there. Put your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath in through your nose. I want you to say of yourself with your own name like this: Jonathan, you are only doing the best you can. Jonathan, you are enough for this. You are enough. We're going to get through this. And we're going to do it together. Now I want you to just maybe think of, if you've got any of those things that you're not proud of, that you've done in the last couple of weeks, or said, whatever the context, things you know that they weren't up to your standard of love, or up to your standard of kindness, or the standard that you want to be known for. We can call a spade a spade. And I want you to put your hand on your heart again, and I want you to forgive yourself. I want you to release yourself from any debt that you owe yourself. Because that shame and that condemnation is not going to help you carry things forward into the future, where we need you to be present. We need you to be yourself, your authentic, real self, in your integrity. Jonathan, I forgive you for being judgmental. I forgive you for losing your cool with the kids. I forgive you for turning to food and alcohol and other comforts that don't last. I'm not going to hold any of that against you. Jonathan, you don't owe me anything. You don't need to make up for it. You were only doing the best that you knew how to do. And so I'm not going to beat you up for doing the best you could. Feel how those words feel in your heart and just be present to them. If they make you feel uncomfortable, try and be present to the discomfort. Feel it. And then get curious. Ask yourself, why does this make me feel uncomfortable? Just dig into it. Don't lash out or do anything. Just get curious and ask yourself, maybe you don't apologize to yourself very often, and so you're just not used to it. Maybe no one's ever apologized to you, and so it's unfamiliar territory for you. Maybe forgiving yourself. Sorry, that's what we're talking about. Forgiving yourself is unfamiliar. Excuse my voice. It's early. I've only been out of bed for half an hour. My throat hasn't woken up yet. I just want to pray a blessing over you guys. Wherever you find yourself, whether you feel at peace, whether you feel like your feet are back underneath you, or whether you feel totally still destabilized and not in a great way, I want to remind you that God is all around you. That God is the foundation of your being and of being life itself. Everything that was made through God, by God, for God. So he holds all of creation together. Where can we flee from his presence? Nowhere. So he's all around you. May that reality become real to you. May you feel his close presence this morning and today, whatever time zone you're in. May you feel God with you, as real as you can feel the chair under your butt, or the ground under your feet. When you breathe in, may you breathe in His peace. And may you breathe out fear and chaos. I'm going to be back here tomorrow morning about the same time, 9:30. I'm doing my best to stream live on every platform, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Periscope, wherever you find yourself. Even on Twitch and DLive. So if you want to switch out from your gaming and tune in just to some peaceful reflections, I'll be here every day. And the podcast will be back this week. I'll be talking all about emotions. Actually, I'll be sharing a sermon that I preached just recently to my church on emotions, how to deal with them, especially fear and anger, sadness in this current context that we're in. If you have any questions or things that you're wrestling with, please send them my way. I'm going to be tackling a bunch of those things practically this week. What to do with prophecies. I know there's a lot of prophetic ministries offering words of encouragement and prophecy. Some of them are really specific, and sometimes when we hear really specific words of prophecy, it's puzzling to know what to do with them. So if you're not hearing those, great, more power to you. But if you are hearing those and you're not really sure what to believe or what to do with those, I'll be talking about those tomorrow. I'll be also talking about a few other things. So if you have questions or things you're wrestling with, general hopelessness, things that you don't know how to do, practical support that you need with your children, whatever your case may be, or your loneliness, your coping mechanisms, let me know what those things are, and I'm going to answer all those practically. So just send me a DM. Make sure you're following me at Jonathan Puddle on all the social media. Follow me on YouTube and elsewhere, and we're going to do this thing together. So I love you guys. I'm honored that you'll be watching me. Grace and peace to you. Deep breaths. We're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. I know the suffering for some of you is really real, and the fear is really real. But it's not the end. And it's not everything. And we're going to get through this. Grace and peace to you guys. Much love. We'll talk soon.